Walter Isaacson's new book, his popular new book on Elon Musk, well, it reveals a lot about this enigmatic entrepreneur. But it also reveals what I think are 14 secrets to this hardcore entrepreneur's massive success. And some of these secrets, yeah, they're known. But Elon, he takes them to a whole new level. Well, in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share his secrets with you and tell you how you could use them, to build your own wildly successful business. I'll tell you what those secrets are right after this break. Come on. Welcome back to Side Hustle Rules. My name is Reyes. If you're not familiar with me, if you're new to my channel, then let me tell you, I'm a startup consultant. I'm also a serial entrepreneur. I spent my entire career building things. I built a chain of business-to-business magazines. I built a weekly newspaper, started 2 national trade show companies, ran a weekly radio program, and I've started almost a dozen other businesses, started them from scratch. Now, I'm currently the director of Over50TV.com. And I also run the Over 50 TV and the Side Hustle Rules YouTube channels. So now that you're familiar with me, let's get familiar with what I consider to be the reason that Elon Musk is so successful. There's 14 reasons that I gleaned from his new book. And I got to tell you, this guy probably isn't enjoying success. If you read the book, you'll know exactly what I mean. He's definitely hardcore, works his ass off, and he builds successful businesses. And he builds them from scratch. You got to admire someone like this. So now let's start. Let me start with the reason, what I consider to be one of the top reasons that Elon Musk is so successful. First principles thinking. This is something that Elon Musk, if you follow him, you know he talks about it all the time. And first principles thinking is a problem-solving approach that really just breaks down complex problems into their fundamental components, or what's called first principles. It involves questioning conventional wisdom. It's something that Elon Musk does all the time. And it's understanding the core principles at the foundation of each problem. Now, Elon Musk, he uses this first principles thinking to come up with ways that are more efficient, and he looks for original solutions to a wide range of challenges. And let me give you an example. Early in the book, what he talks about is that he went to Russia. He went to Russia to buy rockets that he was going to plan to use, so he could eventually get to Mars. Well, you know what happened? He goes to Russia, he talks to some of the folks there to buy these rockets, and he just concluded, hey, using first principles thinking, he concluded, you know what? I could take this, looking at the cost of the rockets, and I could break it all down, and I could figure out a way to buy or to build my own rockets, his own rockets, at less cost and do them more efficiently. It's just a simple explanation of his first principles thinking. Make the product efficiently. Now, this is one of Musk's guiding principles, and he says, it's not the product that leads to success. It's the ability to make the product efficiently. It's about building the machine that builds the machine. In other words, he thinks, how do I design a factory? How do I design a factory where everything goes through efficiently, where there are no roadblocks? And he's constantly walking those factory floors, determining how he can make that factory floor, make that whole process more efficient. It's all about making the product efficiently. Create a great product. Elon Musk puts no effort into sales and marketing. Instead, he believes that if you make a great product, the sales will follow. Now, this is not a new concept. Howard Schultz over at Starbucks, especially in the early days, Starbucks did no advertising. They felt no need to do it. They had a loyal client base. They had some great products. Then there was a demand. Yeah, create a great product, and the sales will follow. Never give up. In August of 2008, Elon Musk had run out of money. He was near bankruptcy, personal bankruptcy. Tesla was hemorrhaging cash, and his SpaceX company, well, it had crashed 3 Falcon 1 rockets in a row. And many folks out there would have just thrown in the towel and said, hey, I quit. I can't keep going on. But not Elon Musk. Instead, what he did is he doubled down and he proclaimed, I'll never give up. And I mean never. So a few months later, on September 28th, his 4th attempt at launching a rocket, of launching that Falcon 1 rocket, made history as the first privately built rocket to launch from the ground and to reach orbit. Yeah, never give up. Go hardcore. Musk demands maniacal intensity. If you read any article or see any interview with Elon Musk, then you know he does demand maniacal intensity at his companies. You know, one of his favorite words and concepts was hardcore. In 2012, as his Model 5 production line ramped up, he spelled out his creed, in an email that he sent out to his employees, and his email was titled Ultra Hardcore, and it read like this: please prepare yourself for a level of intensity that is greater than anything most of you have experienced before. Revolutionizing industries is not for the faint of heart. Anyone out there who has started a business and been very successful, they know exactly what Elon means. You got to go hardcore. You got to dedicate yourself. You got to put the time in if you want to be successful. Focus on work. You know, Elon Musk loves to focus on his work, and it's almost similar to the previous example I gave you, the previous, what I say are secrets, in that he likes going hardcore, but he also focuses on his work. And at times in the book, what it says is he treats the rest of his life as an unpleasant distraction. Work means everything to Elon Musk. If you want to be successful, yeah, you've got to focus. You've got to go hardcore, at least in my opinion. But also you've just got to make sure that work is that priority. Your business is your priority. Because if you're building it and you're putting your entire life and your entire savings into that business, you want to make sure it's successful. Scenario modeling, and actually that's a term that I'm using to describe a frequent occurrence that happens with Elon Musk. He's known for going strangely silent in meetings. All of a sudden, he'll be talking to someone, and then he's oblivious to everything around him. And during these, what he calls are trance-like periods, he says he runs visual simulations about the ways that multiple factors could play out over the years. To me, it's not just a scenario modeling or a visual simulation. It's his ability to focus and to think through issues or problems from the beginning to the end. And sometimes those beginnings and those ends, there are years between. But he has that ability to do what I call scenario modeling. Get to scale as fast as possible. Now, Elon Musk, he provided most of the initial funding when his cousins, Lyndon and Peter Reyes, when they decided they were going to go ahead and launch a company that would eventually become Tesla Solar. Now, Peter recalls the advice that he got from Elon Musk, and the advice was get to scale that would have an impact as fast as possible. And I thought a lot about that suggestion, about that advice that Elon Musk gave his cousins. And quite frankly, it's not the easiest thing to do when you're just starting out in business, because to get to scale as fast as possible means you really have to invest as much money as possible to get to that scale. On Elon Musk's level and where he's from, certainly he has access to that capital. Not all of us do, but the advice is so present. I think that if you can get to scale as fast as possible. End-to-end control. To understand this concept, let's take a little bit of a history lesson here. Between 2000 and 2010, the United States lost 1/3 of its manufacturing jobs, and they lost them by sending their factories abroad. American companies, they did this. This was popular because they could save labor costs. But what happened, the consequence was they lost that daily feel for the ways to improve their products. Very simple, short little history lesson there. Elon Musk, though, on the other hand, what he did is he bucked this trend. He believed that Tesla's design manufacturing, what he called a feedback loop, would give it a competitive edge, allowing it to innovate on a daily basis. His cars would go through the production line if there was a problem. If there was a problem with a part Well, you know what? He knew it right away. He could make the adjustment, but the manufacturers, the auto manufacturers who sent their products or their manufacturing overseas, they didn't have that closeness. They didn't have that feedback loop that Elon Musk insisted on. Yeah, end-to-end control, something that he believes, and I certainly believe that in everything that I've ever done. Set big goals. So one of the things that I really admire about Elon Musk is his move to push hard, to move faster, to take more risks, to break the rules and question requirements. It's allowed him to accomplish big feats such as sending humans into orbit, mass marketing electric vehicles, and getting homeowners off the grid. Too often, I say most often, we're starting a business, we're building a business, we don't want to take those risks. And it's not easy for us to do, especially when we're taking those risks and we're thinking to ourselves, we're rolling the dice, we may lose everything. But taking those risks, setting big goals, that's what has really propelled Elon Musk's success. Automate every task possible. In Musk's vision for a modern, what he calls an alien dreadnought factory, he believes in automating every single task. But he does say this. He says, always wait until the end of designing a process. Wait till after you've questioned everything, all the requirements, where you've deleted or after you've deleted all the unnecessary parts before you introduce automation. And I think it's a very, very wise advice that he gives, because I think most of us can figure out a way or see a way that we can automate tasks in our own business. And I think even if you have a hot dog stand, I can tell you this, you can find a way to automate some of those tasks to make your business, your life, make it more efficient and, of course, make it more profitable. Unconventional thinking. Musk believes this. He says if conventional thinking makes your mission impossible, he says, well, you know what? Then go with unconventional thinking. That's when it's necessary. And I know many of you out there are probably hearing this example and thinking, Lou, this is no secret. Yeah, we know this. But as I said in the beginning of this video, Elon Musk takes this unconventional thinking to a whole new level. For example, I mentioned previously, he went to Russia to buy rockets that he knew he was going to need if he was going to accomplish his goal, which was to get a man into outer space. When he went there, though, and he found out that these rockets were going to be expensive, he decided he was going to go ahead and build his own. Now, he had never built rockets before, so this is the unconventional thinking. He didn't put or accept a roadblock. Unconventional thinking. We all need to do it. We all should consider opportunities or ways to do something different, something that is holding us back from where we want to go, where we want to be, and what we want to accomplish. Musk's algorithm. Now, this is something that's mentioned quite frequently in the Isaacson book. And Musk's algorithm has basically five rules. And it goes like this. He says, question every requirement, delete any part or process that you can, simplify and optimize, accelerate the cycle time, and he also says automate. And I know we've covered many of those or all of these, pretty much all of them in this video so far. But let me point out something that I know that we haven't discussed. Something else that's very important and I think is part of his algorithm, which is the only rules, he says, are the ones dictated by the laws of physics. Everything else is a recommendation. And I think this goes to the heart of the matter with Elon Musk, is question everything. Nothing, unless it is dictated by the laws of physics, nothing is above questioning. And this, I think, as I mentioned, goes to the heart of his success. Question everything. Combine aspirational missions with a practical business plan. So let me explain. When Musk realized getting to Mars was going to cost some serious money, he explored revenue opportunities. He knew he needed to generate some revenue to be able to afford to go to land on Mars and build a colony, which was his dream. It's been his dream. So he explored opportunities, which included space tourism. Could he generate money through space tourism? Could he launch satellites for the United States government, for some other countries, and also for companies? Well, in late 2014, he saw an opportunity for his SpaceX company to make cash, to make some money by launching its own communication satellites and providing, through his satellites, through his Starlink, provide internet service to paying customers. And he saw that as a potential way to generate what he calculated to be $30 billion a year. And he uses these ways to generate, these opportunities to generate money to fund his aspirational ideas. And I think many of us out there, we've got this idea, we want to do something, but we don't know how to fund it. Well, sometimes what it might take is taking a step back and looking for ways that we can generate money to fund our projects, to fund our aspirations, to fund our dreams.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff.
Well, there you go, my friends. I've just given you 14 or told you about 14 what I called secrets to Elon Musk's success. And as I mentioned in the beginning, some of these you're going to look at and think, well, these aren't really secrets. But what I say is this: Elon Musk has taken each one of these to another level, and they've contributed, without question, contributed to his success. I believe they can also contribute to your success, whether or not you have a side hustle, you've got an established business, or you're looking to build a full-time business. Follow each one of these. Think about them. If you have any questions, you're welcome to send me a message. I also want to mention, if you want more information, if you really want to dig deep into business, join me. Become a member of my Side Hustle Rules Patreon page. Put a link in the description box. I cover a lot more business. It's a lot more, what I say is hardcore stuff. I don't want to be just a fluff YouTube channel where people talk about things they don't know. I talk about things I do know, and I also talk with people who know what they're talking about. So you could join me on the Side Hustle Rules Patreon page. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the comment box, send me an email, subscribe to Side Hustle Rules, or you could join me on Over 50 TV. Become a subscriber there, or you can hop on the over50tv.com website for even more information. And I do cover some side hustle stuff there as well. Well, as I always say, have a great day, everybody.